defined all of our images, which are like the characters and the enemies, and also the ladders that he climbs up and down.
The background.
Yeah. Oh, and the in-screen as well.
Yeah, the end screen is basically if you win. It's like, you win, congratulations.
You probably won't. Yeah, I can't.
Just use 2 fingers on the
Trying.
trackpad.
You probably won't get to see it because it's actually kind of difficult. Still me. Okay. Yeah. So basically, this is just the move functions for the different enemies, which is it's later in our code, but I'm going to tell you about it now. So we have like a world struct, and then within that there's a level struct, and then within that there's a list of enemies, which contains enemy structs, which include the move function. So the move functions are defined here, and basically they just some of them move straight, some of them are like that, some of them are diagonal.
And it's like if the character, if the enemy goes off screen, then he comes back on screen.
Right. Lots of those, lots of enemies. Okay, and then these are level 1, level 2, and level 3 are our background plus the platforms that the person can stand on plus the ladders they can climb on. Okay, and then the distance formula. And then we also used the coordinates of those rectangles that are the platforms and the ladders to say when you're on the floor, because you can only jump if you're on the floor, and when you're on a ladder, because you can only move up and down when you're on a ladder.
Otherwise you fall.
Yeah. And this is actually, there's redundancies here because we were going to change where the platforms were between the levels, but actually they're all the same because we didn't have time. So,
yeah. So then we define the structure. So the world is the level, the coordinates of the character, the goal. So if he has the goal or not, if he has the key and the time. And then there's the structure enemy, which is an image, the coordinate of the enemy, and so the move function, how he moves. And then so we defined each level as in each level it's.
So this is where you start for each level.
So it's a world. So there we define which character it is for each level because the character changes with every level.
Character door.
Yeah, door. Sorry. Yeah. So if he's at the door and he has the key. And the image is the image of level 1, then he goes on to level 2. And
level 2 being the world that you get at the beginning of level 2, which we defined earlier.
Yeah, and then we did the same thing for level 3. So if he's at the door, he has the key, and the background image is of level 2, then he goes to level 3. And then if the distance, and then at the end of level 3, you actually get a message basically saying you won. And then if you game over, so basically if you hit a guy, if you're not at the door on time, or if you don't have the key, then you go back to the beginning of level 1. So you have to restart everything every time you lose. And otherwise the world just continues as it is. Okay, that's the whole key thing. So that's the whole thing saying that if you're...
so if none of those things happen, if the game isn't over and you don't go on to... And you don't go on to the next level, then it updates the world normally, so that's what this is.
So when it updates the world normally, it's basically, that's the thing saying, if you get the key, if you get the goal, then the number to key switches to 1, which means that the key appears on the screen, and then when you get the key, you can get to the door. And then we have...
Oh, and also increases time by 1.
Yeah. And then we have our key press, so we can go right, left, up, and down, and we can press also X and Y, and X and Z, sorry. So Z is to jump left, and X is to jump right.
And then we also have constraints, so you can't go up if you're not on a ladder.
Or you can't jump when you're not on the ground.
Right. Oh, and I think we forgot to mention under...
the fall thing.
Yeah. So under update world, basically the default is unless you are on the floor or on the ladder, then the Y coordinate decreases by 5 every time. So basically,
fall.
Yeah. Not realistic physics, but that's
yeah.
Okay. Oh, great! And finally.
That's it.
Okay.
You may have to zoom out to be able to see the thing.
No. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah. That should be.
That should be okay.
Okay. I think that's enough.
You want me to try?
Yeah, you can play it. You're better. It takes a while because.
You have a lot of images to load.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the caveman. It's your little guy. So
and the red bar at the top is the timer.
Yeah.
What's the key? And then the key is now by the bat.
It appears when you get the goal. So I just got the goal. So now I have to go get the key.
Yeah.
What happens if you... Oh, so if you land on a ladder, even while you're flying, it knows to stop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you change character, so you're your little baby.
And then there's the alien, so do you want to get the gold and then hit the alien?
Yeah, so basically if I get the gold and then touch the alien, which I just missed, so that's
Oh,
sad.
don't.
Ah!
Oh, and even if you have the key and you hit the alien, you still die. Or, I mean, you don't die, you lose the gold.
Yeah, so here
And
I
then you
just
have to get
lost
the gold.